Imagine a place where you can enjoy an incredible beach getaway and explore the wonders of nature, where dolphins will come to greet you right at your doorstep, and activities like quad biking through the sand dunes and helicopter rides are just around the corner. Well, I'm talking today about Tangalooma Island Resort on Moreton Island, where paradise awaits off the coast of Brisbane. Hi there guys, I'm Chris and welcome to this week's video. If you remember from the last video I featured was a day trip to Moreton Island and exploring the wrecks and sand tobogganing. Well, today we're heading for a day trip to Tangalooma Island Resort and seeing how different the experience of Moreton Island is from there. And I must say it can be very different, but don't just take my word for it and see what I mean right now. Matt and I purchased our package online, and if you need help with that, I'll link a blog in the description below. There's a parking facility at the Holt Street Terminal in Pinkenba, but you'll need to park in the short term first and then purchase a $20 token to allow access for the day. If you're looking for some free parking, then there's some room in the surrounding streets, but you might need to walk a bit if it's a busy time. The check-in was easy and she gave us all the paperwork you need for our access to the resort facilities and the tours we had pre-purchased. This included the Dolphin Feeding and the quad biking tour. But we ended up with more time and other things to do as well. As you wait at the terminal, why not treat yourself to a delicious coffee and a quick bite to eat? It's the perfect way to pass the time and keep your stomach satisfied before the journey ahead. And for those who experience motion sickness, it's a smart idea to take some medication now to prevent any discomfort on the water. The journey on the ferry takes a little over an hour to get to Tangalooma Island Resort or Moreton Island. But what do you do to keep yourself entertained through this experience? Well, you can choose to spend some time lost in a good book and catching up on your reading. Or if you're someone that loves playing games, why not challenge your other fellow passengers to a game of cards? Or take a quick power nap, could be just what you need to recharge for the day's activities. But perhaps nothing compares to simply wandering the deck and taking in the breathtaking views as you cruise through the Brisbane River. Exiting the boat couldn't be any easier when it comes to arriving at the pier, and you simply walk down and check everything out. Since we had a day trip package book, we had to check in with a guide first and find out the times for our tours and any other details we needed to know. Since the quad bikes were in the afternoon and the dolphin feeding was at sunset, we had the morning to fill with other things to do. Something I wasn't expecting was access to a day use area near the resort shops. It's a fantastic addition to have somewhere comfortable to relax, take a shower after swimming, or even just have a bathroom break. It's the little things like these that make a big difference, especially for those who love to soak up the sun. They even had some free coffee in there. Well, now on to the exciting stuff. Taking a helicopter ride might be just the thing you need to spice things up. You'll need about an hour with the check-in, the safety briefing, and waiting for your ride. For the price of $99, I thought it was a pretty reasonable deal, despite the fact that you were only in the air for a measly 6 minutes. But don't let that discourage you. Those 6 minutes will be some of the most exhilarating moments and the best bits of Moreton Island and the resort. You'll get to see the world from a completely different perspective. And with this flight, you'll get to see some of the most stunning sights in the area. This includes the breathtaking sand dunes through the island, the world-renowned Moreton Island wrecks, the shoreline or the beach of Tangalooma, and the vibrant island resort. This is an opportunity that shouldn't be missed and a memory that will last a lifetime, and I recommend giving it a go. Back on the ground, we decided to check out the beach and go for a walk. To be honest, it's probably what most people come here for and would get pretty busy during the summertime. With the pristine shores and crystal clear waters, it's easy to see why most people flock here for some fun in the sun. Whether you're the type to lay out and soak up some rays or prefer to paddle out on a board, Moreton Island has plenty to offer. If you're up for a little adventure and don't mind a bit of a hike, then the Moreton Island wrecks are definitely worth the effort. Sure, it might be a good 30 to 40 minute walk to get there from the resort, but it's great for snorkeling if it's your thing. However, know it's another 5 minutes to swim out to the wrecks once you get there too, plus the swimming around. To be honest, if it's the wrecks that you want to see the most, then the day trip that I posted in the video last week is probably what you want to do. So check that out in the description below. But if you do have the time on your day trip here, then it could be a good option. As you wander through the resort streets, you'll find plenty of restaurants, cafes, bars, and your groceries. You can pick up some snacks, beverages, and anything else you might need for your stay. And for those that know me, I ended up getting another magnet for my collection at home. But there are also plenty of souvenirs. They also had some beachwear, some jewellery, and some local made crafts. The resort itself has plenty of different accommodations if you plan on staying here one day. But our day pass access also included the facilities, which meant the pools. It was a bit cold for us for swimming, so we just sat there relaxing for a bit until our next activity. Every day at 11 AM, the resort staff feed these majestic and rather large pelicans off the pier. This includes other birds like the cormorants eagerly awaiting for their morning feed. As you observe them gulping down their prey, you'll develop a sense of respect and admiration for these creatures. You might even learn a thing or two about them. It was time for lunch, and good for us that we had a $20 voucher included in our package. You could spend it at any of the food places, but we chose the beach cafe for a quick and relatively inexpensive meal. We gave the burgers a go and were soon on our way back out exploring the resort. It's the little things like this that make all the difference to a package deal, so consider it if you're on a budget. Next up, we had the quad biking experience that was already booked in for us. If you have any hesitations, then don't worry. Safety is always their top priority. So make sure you listen carefully during the briefing, and after that it's time to rev up those engines and explore the rugged terrain. There are a lot of people around, but you'll be split into groups so you can have an individualised experience despite the crowds. Since Moreton Island is the third largest sand island in the world, there was no shortage of fun to be had on the dunes in this island paradise. And it was a truckload of fun. Basically, a follow the leader scenario with the experienced guides leading the way. You can trust that you'll have a safe and unforgettable experience. Lots of twists and turns, angles, and sometimes even getting up to speeds. We only just had enough time for this one as there were limited times it was running. We'd been on a Segway before in the streets of Southbank in Brisbane, but I really love the difference of going on the beach. The Segways are a little awkward to drive, but you do get used to it. Glide along the sand, soak up the sun, and marvel at the beauty of your surroundings like never before. The Segway makes it effortless to venture off the beaten path. We rode a couple of kilometres down the beach and the guide was teaching us how to do some skills on the Segway before returning back to resort. This was an extra on our package, but since they were running a special deal, I think we only paid about $35, and this was for about 25 minutes. Started getting to the end of the day and we were filling in time before sunset and the famous dolphin feeding. At 4:45 every day on the resort, the staff will feed the local kookaburras near the resort shops. It's a great opportunity to learn more about these fascinating Australian birds, plus see them up close. Surprisingly, you won't see them like this a lot in the city, but I have seen plenty of camping spots that kookaburras will come up close to you. If you're lucky, you might even hear their laughter echoing through the surrounding trees. As the sun starts to dip below the horizon, it's easy to feel as though the day is winding down and coming to a close. But wait, the best part is still yet to come. Every night, like clockwork, wild dolphins swim just offshore, gathering to be fed by the curious tourists. These beautiful creatures glide through the water with grace and ease, making them a sight to behold. For years, people have flocked to these shores to marvel at the wild dolphin feeding, and it's easy to see why. As much as we love dolphins, we have to remember that they are wild animals who are meant to live in the open sea and hunt for their own food. That's why the Tangalooma Eco Program only feeds them a percentage of what they need and let them source the rest on their own. Not only does it simulate their natural environment, but also encourages them to develop their own hunting and foraging skills. You line up with your fellow visitors, all waiting for your turn to be called into the water. As you get close to the water, you'll need to wash your hands in a special solution and pick up one fish from the bucket. Eventually making your way into the water, but just make sure you're wearing something that you don't care about getting wet, because you might be knee or waist deep in the water, depending on the tides. The dolphins are highly sensitive animals, and any contact from humans could stress them out or impact their natural behaviours, so you're not allowed to reach out to touch or pat them. Additionally, flash photography can be harmful to their sensitive eyesight, even from the jetty. The whole process is over very quickly, but essentially you'll put your hand down, waiting patiently for the curious dolphin to take a closer look, and they'll grab it just as quick. Feel free, if you haven't paid for the experience or for some reason you can't do it, then the jetty has an awesome viewing platform and you can see everyone feeding the dolphins from a short distance away. It was an experience like no other. Connecting with these magnificent creatures in their natural habitat is unforgettable. The ferry home leaves the jetty straight after the dolphin feeding has finished, and then you can revel in the exhausting day you've had at Tangalooma Resort. But if you're looking for any more day trips from Brisbane, please click here and check this video out now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys.